Saga City. Goat leader, the soothsayer, the smokes reaper, the game teacher, the flame preacher that spits what I practice and remain in pimp status. I'll twist your brain backwards. My lyrics are apparatus like a prostitute stew or a brew of witch's magic. You see me rational when the logic makes you erratic. The static I invite, the night that serves Christ with dry blood on my knife. Keep some light green in my pipe to ignite. Dark age nigga, riddle me that. Sprinkle some holy sacraments on the lead in my gat. I drink the blood of thugs to bring the 1990s back. This is the final collapse. Fracture skulls with some cold hard facts. Is this a rapture or the tour of some rap? And if I catch your spinal fat, you'll put a fur on my back. Yeah. Why they hating on Satan? Because they dough is forsaken and they wife steady breaking. I give a small demonstration. Demons been straight for eons. Better to be pissed off than peed on. In this Star Wars you are trekking as a Klingon. So sync on key. That ass belongs to me like this is Ike and Tina in 73. Come on, march to the beat. There's no hurt in defeat. Waving sheets, that's right. In the middle of the night we fight like civil rights. This is pimpin' only chasing rats with fiddle and pipe. If she gives me any gripe, you can catch her at the street light. My game is Swisher sweet tight and never hollow. I didn't need a Twitter, make a motherfucker follow. When you look at the numbers, don't feel bitter with sorrow. Hope you can find a fat critter with some money to borrow. Bitch, nigga. Yeah. I'm known for making hoes of other races go pro-black, turn they back on they God once they sit on my Bozak. You can hold that like P. Diddy in 1996. Bury your best friend and his carcass makes you rich. You can ask Shug, the Rubik's Cube of these music dudes. Private jets and flight attendants in the nude. We play for kings and queens in this family feud. This is chess and not checkers. Evolved to a rat chinchilla. Coming from some duck down feathers. I was slinging that crack in below zero weather. Never made it to an ounce. Then I sold the crack of an ass and I got me a house. These niggas be full of doubts. Show them what pimpin's about. She only know the color of my shoes and watch her fucking mouth. Don't speak when she holds both cheeks. My throatness is so unique. My dick is like my pockets, bitch. They go so deep. Yeah. What the fuck? Yo, what's going on with this motherfucker?
Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. An angel told me I got too much sex appeal. I put the shine on my horns and said that's real. I just be trying to chill. People looking at me like I'm a 5-course meal. They got skeletons in their closet and guts to spill. Then they trying to make deals, going off how they feel. But when they can't match with you, shit gets real. They some little eyes monkeys slipping on banana peels. Then they getting hella thirsty over Instagram reels. You brag on your bag and emotions do kill. The devotion for meals cause commotion until you get rich or die trying, or turn bitches start crying, and gotta blame your failures on everybody that's lying. Ignore what's in store, got a loan and start buying. Your focus was stunting, then it turned into nothing. Now you trying to hold something. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. 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 Smiles are just miles of lies. A beautiful appearance when they ugly inside. They drinking on spirits so they soul can hide. The pride of pride. While you riding high, they'll slip cyanide in your martini and your apple pie. They call you a big meanie just to satisfy they status of being broke. Lend them some dope when they need something to smoke, cause dollars won't make them woke. Only the slavery rope. Besides the dances and jokes, we hardly spoke. My whip became a spaceship, now they can't cope. They wrote a million songs and the bank said nope. Gotta start from scratch, but their heart's not attached. Gotta play it smart in the trap for the catch. Everybody turned rap, now they need some crumbs to snatch. Only take one bad apple to fuck up the batch, and that is a fact. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. 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 Gotta watch what your girls say. Anything that comes out that mouth is not for play. If they don't walk what they talk, stay out the way. These broke drunks ain't got no bed, so where do they lay? You love that bitch pussy and that cat is a stray. And she hissing at every position you get in to start winning. Whispering to your minions thinking she know. Thoughts amongst the demons is how the traitors do grow. But the clear thinks quicker and the haters are slow. They got nowhere to go. Now they begging to get back in when kicked out of heaven. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly. Jealousy and envy when hate becomes friendly.
Yo, what's good in this motherfucker, man? What's good? The guy 720 is back. Of course. Yeah, man, y'all get up in this comment section, man. Ask questions. We just kicking it today. There's nothing specific going on. There's a lot of wildness. First, we'd like to say rest in peace to James Earl Jones. You know, yeah, James Earl Jones, I think, died today. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me confirm it. Yeah, he died today, 93 years old. So definitely rest in peace to James Earl Jones, who played the original Darth Vader. He's been in a lot of films. He's been acting for a very, very long time. So peace to that brother. You know, see you on the other side. You know, and yeah, that's a sad thing. But we got a lot of other stuff going on in the world today. Supposedly the immigrants are out here eating the ducks at the pond. The immigrants, okay, even though they're getting, well, that's in New York. In New York, they're getting 15,000 a month for food stamps, and then they're getting 5,000 for just cash a month. Okay, so the ones in, I think, in New York and Chicago ain't got that problem, but the immigrants are tearing up the ducks. They're catching the ducks and eating them from the parks. Yo, it's wild shit. This is a wild violation to what America is. Are we going to do anything about it? But see, the deliverance from temptation, that's what it is. They were tempted with hunger to, you know, to suffice the hunger with the park duck is some crazy shit. But there's a lot of temptations going on out here nowadays that are very bad for you. You better watch out. It still matters who's vaccinated. You better watch out about that one. People want to sweep that shit underneath the rug. Niggas was out here killing each other over the toilet paper. You know, they were standing in line like great dumbass to get the vaccination. Now it's in your system. You might as well say the whole next generation is vaccinated because all of these single mamas was out here lining up to get their children and make sure that their husbands were vaccinated. And I even experienced, when I moved into this house, the electrician and the gas dude had the same exact story about their wives forcing them to take the vaccination. They took the vaccination, and then their legs swelled up. They couldn't use their legs, and they had to go back and forth with different complications to the hospital. This is after receiving the vaccination. So I don't know where those dudes is at now. It's a very interesting thing because see, with shit, a lot of occultic shit happens to me here in this Vegas. So that was really weird. I'm just moving into my crib and I call these dudes up, and one was white and one was Hispanic. And they lay out this whole story, and it was damn near the same exact story both of them were saying. And what the lesson is that we're all going through similar experiences, and we need the good fight. What books did you get today, brother? Um, yeah, the crazy blood clots that's all up in your system, and man, you better watch that shit. People's legs was going out, people were paralyzed, and it's still happening now. So, like, I just saw a report talking about some 18-year-old, some no, it was like some 16-year-old kid in high school was playing football, and he just collapsed on the field and died. Blood clots. Okay, vaccination, and you can guarantee it because their parents put them through that. I didn't put my kids through no vaccination. We walked around with our head high. We didn't wear any masks or none of that shit because I'm not living by the rules of what Western civilization wants to put out here. You know. Oh, okay. You got the kicked out of heaven today. There's a happy customer, ladies and gentlemen. Tell the people what do you think about it when you flip through it. Put it in the comment section. You know. Let me see here. Yeah. Davy Lee, he got the Kicked Out of Heaven, volume 1 through 3 right there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go get it. It is available right now. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna get you. Once you purchase the Kicked Out of Heaven, you can choose any ebook that you want, and I'll send it to you for free. Any one of my ebooks, okay? You get that with the Kicked Out of Heaven if you purchase now. You know what I'm saying? So please do that. Run it. Let's run up the bag. We got to run up the bag because I'm the last man standing out here with any reality, with any sustenance still stuck to him. I don't put on characters. I'm sorry if that's what your brain is looking for. You're looking for some great entertainment character person. I'm just me, man. I like being me. I like being me. I don't know how to switch on or switch off for the possibility of people who want to end up being jealous of you and try to destroy you anyways. Like I just put in that song, I played the Cult Leader and from the Onyx Tablet album, and then I played the Jealousy and Envy from the Back to the Future album because that's what the game is. People want to follow you out of this space of vicariousness that they think they're trying to live through you or attach to you in some way, and they feel unfulfilled, and the only thing that's going to fill you is good information. That's why I provided the Kicked Out of Heaven and things of that nature, so you can be calm with how the world is operating and what's going on out here. Because what's going on out here, a lot of people want to rant and rave like this is the craziest time period that's ever existed on this planet, and that is definitely not the case. There's been a lot more worse shit going on this planet than the little trials and tribulations that we're going through now. Everybody's scratching their head. I mean, the thing that's peculiar about what's going on right now is we have enough information at our availability where we should not be collapsing as a civilization, but yet we are. And we're not giving credence to a lot of unwritten laws that are necessary for the sustenance of a civilization, and that's because we're not studying civilizations. The native is not putting in the due diligence towards what has occurred in the past, what was the cause of the rise, and what was the cause of the fall of many civilizations, and we're not restricting those things to occur in our current status, and that's why everything is fucking up. So I have to say that everything that you're seeing, from the towers going down all the way to Kamala and everything else, you're looking at an intentional situation, you know. um I appreciate it. I do get that a lot. A lot of people say I burn a strange fire. What is that? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, um, I want to know what the fuck is going on. You know, is the environment we're in, when our environment is synthetic and it's produced off of intelligence. You know, in order to synthesize, in order to alloy the metals, you have to be an intellectual, you have to be a scientist. So we're in a culture dish is what's going on. And there's people that's controlling this whole situation. I mean, you should feel as if you're being laughed at by now, you know. We should all feel like we're being laughed at this current moment. um I mean, Putin basically laughed directly at us with saying that he was supporting Kamala Harris, and he's laughing because the common man of America isn't intellectually sound enough to understand that rulership of a female who doesn't even have a direct lineage to the land um is not going to provide any form of leadership for the people. You understand? Let me see what it say here. So most people have Android extensions, their phones, that can learn anything at any given moment. Yeah, you know, um, learning is not really going to be done with video. You know, when you read things, they sort of like punch on the back of your brain like a typewriter. It sort of like gets tattooed on the back of your brain when you read. When you read, it's going to adjust your behavior. When you are just dependent upon videos, goes in one ear and out the other, you know, you're going to perceive things differently than what the intent of the person was speaking, you know, because you have a different processor versus the processor of one that was giving you the information. This may also be the same with literature, but with literature, you can read the same line over and over and over, and it doesn't change. You see what I'm saying? When you're looking at a video, you have a lot more things going. Your eyes are busy on the background. You're busy on, you know, what is this person wearing? You're busy about everything that's going on in the video. You know, you want to smell the motherfucker's cologne or perfume, and that's the only thing you're not getting, and that's what you think you're getting. And then we have exaggeration. You know, we have exaggeration, which was definitely a very traumatizing thing for the human mind. But once again, like I've stated before, the human mind may not be built for reality. And exaggeration definitely assisted the fantasy status that a lot of people have been in. And they want to continue this fantasy thinking because it makes them, it gives them some weird false superiority line of I'm attached to the situation and I can give you the secrets of the situation, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, you know. So that's why I write books, you know, so we can know what we're talking about. There's a multitude of different sources. I do have bibliography. No, I don't have bibliographies in my philosophy books like the Ethereal Law, because all of that just came out of me, you know. All of that was just stuff that came out, you know. Yeah, like I say right here, when adults express hate or violence towards infants and children, it is due to a jealousy of the purity of the young earthling. That's right. You are an earthling. You understand? And you better watch out for parents who are jealous of the or only will produce what they know, and they haven't expanded their minds to approach what ills they may have inside the mirror, and they go off the abuse that they were raised under, and they will raise their children underneath that same line of abuse because that's all they know. Okay. So it's a very dangerous space. You have to educate yourself specifically when it comes to rearing children, because we don't know the true. There's nothing perfect in this dimension. Let's put that out there first. So to try to achieve perfection is the main goal of religions. Okay, all religions say, "Hey, I have developed a path. I have developed a system, and we also have an entity who represents said perfection. Our system and the way we eat is also encoded for perfection because the perfect one, who is the entity of our religion, has written this perfection down for us thousands and thousands of years ago, right? And then you're supposed to follow that way, and you're supposed to pray, and you're supposed to do all the things that have been added throughout the eons of times to the perfect one, in order to go to a perfect space when you die. And you're supposed to be perfect within this dimension. And to be perfect is to also be non-experienced, because I mean, unexperienced is the word. I'm sorry about that. Because the perfect one doesn't do anything. In order to be perfect, you literally can't do shit, because failure and a consistent failure may bring up other energies up out of you, like violence, in order to succeed in the areas that you have failed in. Okay. So, and you may have to put down areas of manipulation and trickery and things of, the dark arts may come about so you can succeed, you see. And this is where this is where we have to draw the line with the religion, and we have to understand that religion only represents being civil. Now, civility is automatically encoded into how you operate once you become an intellectual. Okay. And you have to go through other experiences, of course, with people. And that one of the main experiences is going to be with the opposite gender, and that's going to be in the space of love. Okay. You have to experience the space of love. See, when you experience the space of love, you ain't worried about no fucking technology. You're not worried about, trying to prove yourself to other people. And this is what also comes out of a lot of traumatic households is people, who were abused and things of that nature. They want to go out there to the world and poke their chest out and try to make everybody else respect them because they didn't get respected by their own parents. And that's basically what we're looking at. The results in civilization that you're seeing today, and a very hardcore example of everything that I'm saying, is found in this this school shooting. This is definitely a case study. The first area of this case study would be Colt Gray, and he was a school shooter. Well, he's named after a gun. The Colt is a manufacturer of the gun. We also have the Colt horse. But the Colt horse is not what we're looking at today, even though the Colt gun, 9 times out of 10, is named after the Colt horse. Okay. Or a family that bred Colt horses also over time went into a different industry and ended up making Colt pistols. So then the revolver or guns by original were a gray color because they were made out of steel. You know what I'm saying? So look at that. You have Colt Gray, who's went and did the school shooting. His mother forewarned the school. His mother was a great bandito. Okay, she was out there. She has a long rap sheet of crime that she's been doing. She's a criminal. She's a villain. And then they even asked the little boy's grandfather what they think about his son, and they said that his son was purely evil. Was pure evil. So now that the grandfather has stated that his own son is pure evil and he should be giving the death penalty, these are the words out of the Colt Gray's grandfather's mouth about his own son, which is Colt Gray's father, Colin Gray, right? And what's so funny is I got all of this in my head. I didn't even read these articles. I just briefed them real quick. And what happened with Colin Gray is he bought the gun for his child for a gift, and then the mother found out some crazy shit, I guess, and called the school and tried to give them a forewarning of what's going on, because you can't control your own son. They try to push this narrative that every person is their own person and people aren't programmable so they could think in a correct format. That is the case. And we can see this because I ran across another report that's talking about how they say the industry of mental health, dealing with psychologists, psychiatrists, so on and so forth, therapists and things of that nature is going to boom within the next 5 years by triple of the demand that's needed for life coaches and psychiatrists and all this other shit. Okay, because we have criminal beget criminal, we have worthlessness beget worthlessness, and all of these things are just based on the neuro map inside your mind, and what category and how is everything wrapped up and what you've experienced and whatnot. Humans are programmable to operate in a good fashion, just like they're programmable to operate in a negative fashion. And this programming is going to begin as a child. Um, and the environment that the child is in and its relationship with its mother and the things that it's witnessing and seeing, and the smells that's around and all of that. And those things are very important. And if you don't want your child to act like an animal, then what you do, you don't expose them to the animal realm. Okay. And when we're talking about the animal, I'm specifically mentioning domestication of the domesticated dogs and the cats and all of this other shit. And you have the stink scent floating in your fucking house. Now, the whole thing is when you raise children on a farm, what happens with that is they identify the stench because they see what the animals are doing. Okay. For number one, they have no true social order that's correlated to hygiene. Okay. Licking themselves is a small area of the hygiene that is not what is required when we have a medical issue, or what will stem into a medical issue. Okay. So they witnessed that, they witnessed the courting, they witnessed all of these things on the farm, but the number one thing they witness is the morbidity, okay, which is the morality that happens. I mean, the morbidness is what I meant to say. The murder of the animals being hunted. The wolves came and stole some chickens, type things. You got to kill this chicken to put it on your plate now. You know what I'm saying? So they understand the whole life and death complex, and then they respond to that accordingly because it can occur to them. Because what they witness with these video games is that all they got to do is just start over and everything is good, and that's not the case. And you best believe that Grand Theft Auto and a lot of these other games that have been out here have definitely affected the minds of the people that you're dealing with every single fucking day. Okay. So yeah, so the Colt Gray, whose name is a pistol, went shot at the school, and he comes from a bad bloodline, obviously, and that's what that produces. Okay, that's why the white man knows is that, oh, we have a school shooting, we'll lock up the parents. They go back to the medieval on your ass. Because in the medieval, if you were to steal or anything of that nature, as a matter of fact, if you were even to commit suicide, they come lock your ass up, come lock your family up, because they looked at suicide as you trying to alleviate yourself from your duties, okay, and run away from your responsibilities. You see what I'm saying? So the weakness that America has socially invited in ever since the towers got knocked down is definitely showing up at our front doors everywhere. And it's what are we going to do about it? There's enough. A lot of people ain't going to do shit because they can't even identify it as weakness because they've accepted these same things. And when you're a retard, you don't see that you're a retard. And that's the coldest part about it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, homie, what you feel about the books, man? What y'all got to say about the Kicked Out of Heaven? Is there any questions? I want the mind to create questions, is what we're doing here. Because if the mind can't create questions, then what type of complexity, what type of processing do you have about existence? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and pose them, say what y'all got to say. Anything that y'all want to say about what's going on in the news, bring it up. Let's talk about it. You dig what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna sit here and just be talking about women, women, women all day. There's a motherfucking podcast. These podcasts everywhere, women this, women that, women this. The majority of them niggas do that shit because they don't get no pussy they goddamn selves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for real. You know, I give facts, and the facts I give is it predates America. So it's very confusing for people because people don't like to maybe they don't know how to go into the realm of what the average man was seeing in society during other civilizations that predate us. So, you know, for me, because I've done a lot of digging, I ran into a lot of that information. I like to read books from the 1800s. You know, a lot of the books today have definitely a social engineering and propaganda intent behind it. There's an agenda, so I don't really fuck with them. You know, books that are written after 1980, most definitely. Yeah, so that's what we're looking at. We got crazy shit here. They say Chinese spies are being planted in some of America's biggest companies. Of course. You think that, you see, we still think like a young nation. We think, oh yeah, we war. I come over there, I drop the atom bomb, I kick your ass. You know, now we shake hands. I'll let you put some sweet and sour in our country, and now it's all to the good. No, they have not forgotten. They want their lick back. Everybody wants their lick back. You know, everybody wants their lick back, and they're waiting for the precise moment to get it, and they're gonna work on it slowly but surely until they get it. You know, and that is the dangerous part about it because America is over here worried about partying. You know, party, party, party. That's all we want to do, and we're fucking up existence during the course of it. You know, so even though it ain't got to be that way, but I guess that's just the way it is. So you know, what is they gonna say about it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So y'all get up in the comments here. You know, I'm redoing the Kicked Out of Heaven right now. I'm adding some information to it, but you still got to get the classic version because this is the version with the colored pictures in it and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And they come to your door immediately, directly from me. You know, not just the Amazon. You know. So let me see what we got here on the news. Since the people ain't saying nothing, let's go ahead and get to it, y'all. The world is collapsing on us, and there's nothing to say. There's always something to say. There's something to do about it. One thing that I found interesting was this lawsuit that's going on with GMC right now for trucks in between 2015 and 19, and they got bad transmissions in the vehicles, and the company obviously knew that the transmissions bad and shoved them out to the market anyways, and people have been purchasing them everywhere, and they're screwed. You know, and this stay away from the electric vehicles. You know, if you live in regions where it gets cold, like a New York or a Chicago, stay away from the Teslas. You know, because if you buy that shit, you're gonna be stuck in a conundrum of dumb shit. You know, do not fuck around, and I do mean it. Do not fuck around with the electric vehicles. If you know, they only get about 350 miles in distance when fully charged. You can only charge it to about 80%. They don't have enough charging stations everywhere already to charge these vehicles, you know. So please stay away from that shit unless you want a conundrum of problems. I don't like problems. Let me see here. Have you heard about the Wolcott Hotel in NYC? They have the military stationed in there. No, I did see a video of that, but I didn't look into that whole situation. I did see a video of that. That was interesting, but I mean, uh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to have it because, you have the immigrants are going down to the parks and they're killing the ducks and barbecuing the duck at the park. This is not American. You understand? And the military, what it is, I heard that if you attack the Venezuelan, you're going in for a hate crime. But if the Venezuelan gets in any form of medical condition, supposedly, that they get citizenship, and they also get 6 months. And with regardless of that, just because they are an immigrant, they get 6 months free rent. They get all this fucking money, and then they get $15,000 a month in food. How do you need $15,000 a month in food, man? Like, what the fuck is going on with that? You know what I'm saying? The brother says, not to toot my own horn. I said China had their foot in the door of America. Yeah, they have eminent domain, and they had eminent domain on the entire country back when Obama was in office. Okay. So, yeah, yeah, toot your own horn and say what you got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't depreciate the value of your own statements. Here in the Bay Area, they're trashing a whole fleet of Tesla police cars because of their lack of off-road capabilities. Ah, interesting. That's interesting. Because like I've told many people, you're dealing with computers and you're dealing with microchips here. So these microchips, when you understand it from an engineering perspective, these microchips have not been tested. See, this is where it really boils down to. It boils down to a point of you're inside of a computer, and a computer is going to at least lead 1 to 3 years, and a computerized vehicle is at least going to need 1 to 3 years for a full testing, so it could be prepared for the populace. Okay. And we're talking about the testing in a multitude of different element scenarios because now the computer is in nature and we're dealing with a lot of different chips, whatever the mechanisms are that, hold the chips together and the resources that they're based upon. We are dealing with a situation where the computer is going to have to be tested in water. It's going to have to be tested in a lot of different temperatures. It's going to have to be tested at a multitude of sea levels and things of that nature, because that's what you're dealing with when you're driving your car. It could be raining. There could be humidity that comes off the grass. There could be fog and things of this nature that could definitely affect how a chip is operating. Okay. So, and my sister was just telling me about that. Chicago, the Teslas, there was Teslas everywhere during the winter, just stalled out everywhere because the cold temperature sucked all the juice out of the battery. Okay. So we're also dealing with a situation where you're going to pay $800, $900 for a key fob. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you lose your key, it's going to cost like $800. You have to take it to the dealership. Your key is going to have to get programmed with the vehicle there. You have to prove that you're the owner of the vehicle, and then a lot of these vehicles are being released with the DMVs to already know about all the recalls on the vehicle. But what's interesting about this is that you go to the DMV to go get your recall done. I mean, you go to the DMV to get your vehicle registered, and they tell you, oh, we can't register this vehicle until you get these recalls serviced. So then you take your vehicle back to the dealership, and they tell you at the dealership, oh, we don't have the tools to service the recall, and that's by headquarters. So headquarters doesn't even have the proper equipment, whether that's to fix it or the part itself to service the recall. Okay. So here you are, just spent $50,000 on a new car that you can't even get registered. You see what I'm saying? So you better watch out with this shit. Don't buy no cars over the year 2015. Okay. 2015 is the cutoff time. Don't buy any vehicles from any brand after that time. If you buy anything from any brand after 2015, you're looking at a possible hardcore get fucked. Okay. And whether that might be your engine, that may be the transmission, that may be the battery blowing up. If you lift the hood of your vehicle and you cannot see the oil. You can't check your oil. You can't check your transmission fluid. You can't see your battery. Do not fuck with that vehicle. And you don't know where to put in the antifreeze fluid, and don't fuck with it. Okay, I'm telling you right now. Um, yeah, I'm not fucking around with nothing. 2015 and up. A lot of niggas want to be out here flashy and do all this Jones and shit. And the Jones is gonna be flooded. Okay, the Jones is gonna be underneath the water, trying to hold on to some shit. The Jones is gonna be burnt out. Okay, because they won't have nowhere to go and they won't have none of their shit because all this technology shit has not been tested long enough for a full security and reliance when it comes to what we needed on our daily activities, and that is period. Don't do it, my nigga. You're gonna fuck up. You know, I could go, and it's really astounding. I went through I learned a lot of that shit just recently, but I was talking about this 10, 15 years ago, not to get involved with. I mean, I didn't say don't get involved with new vehicles. What I was saying is to keep your old vehicles, because you remember when they were trying to buy back um all the vehicles into they were trying to buy back all the old school vehicles. I think that was right after the Obama situation happened, and yes, it's extremely toxic when we're talking about the acid that's in the batteries and what other acids may be needed to sustain these computerized vehicles. It's going to fuck up. Don't do it, my nigga. I'm trying to tell you. This shit is very, very dangerous, and you'll find out when you're on the road, you know. Um, but yeah, stay away from them. They got bolts on the tires now. Locks on the tires, so you can't even change. And they don't give you the key for the lock that is on the bolts on your tires when you purchase the vehicle. Nor is there a donut inside the vehicle in the back in the trunk. Okay. And even when it comes to the electrical stations, the stations are controlled by an app on your phone. So if your app doesn't work on your phone, you can't get no new electricity when for your vehicle. Okay, and it takes what 20-30 minutes to charge up. Don't you remember the days you drove up to the gas station and it only took you 2 minutes to pump a whole tank of gas and you went on about your business? Now you got to do it like what happens now is you have to sign into the app. The app tells you where to go, and then here's the thing: a BMW electric car, electric vehicle, or an Audi electric vehicle can't go get electricity from the Tesla charging station. So they got specific charging stations that you can go to. Okay. And then it's based off of electricity, which is supervised and controlled and calibrated by, the computer and the chip that's inside the vehicle. So the chip could fuck up and your car could have a whole bunch of electricity, but you won't be able to move because of the chip. It's not necessarily the part. And they're doing that for the alternator. They're doing that for the radiator. They're doing that for the gas and oil because the USB scam, nigga. So then your oil is also judged by this computer. And then, well, let me show you what's really crazy. The dealership can can send you messages to your dashboard. And they'll send you messages like, yeah, you need to come back to the lot. You need to come back to the dealership and spend more money on all this dumb shit, nigga. A oil change in an Audi is like 400, 500. You understand? So this is a whole load of dumbass. So you have to be so the BMW electric vehicle can only go get serviced at the BMW, and all the dealerships do not allow they're not open to the public. They're charging stations, right? So you got to go to a charging station that shows up in the app. When you arrive at the charging station, the app, okay, you have to sign into the app You have to plug it, you have to sign into, you have to find the charging station, put in some code or whatever. The charging station has to identify your your car and your whole account basically inside the app, and then you can charge, and then I think they passed a law where you can only charge up to 80%. So you can, and then at 100% you only get 350 miles, and that's standard with all the vehicles, that you only get 350 miles. So I couldn't drive from here to LA, which is only a 4-hour drive. I couldn't in an electric vehicle. I'll be stuck in the fucking desert, because one thing is that, the AAA or whoever you have for your insurance that may send a tow truck, and they can't um they can't fuck around and charge up your vehicle on the spot, let alone if you got a flat tire. If you got a flat tire, they couldn't even change your flat tire on the spot because they don't have the key to the bolts that are on they don't have a key to the lock that is on the bolts that are on your tire. So trust me, all that goddamn flossing and motherfucker be doing with these new vehicles, nigga, yeah, right. It's a shell of dumbass. And a lot of people got a very nasty attitudes that own these vehicles, especially those electric vehicles. Them motherfuckers think they rule the world. Like they done hopped up ship. Dumbass. Like the homie said right here, if we got a 68 Nova, or if we got a 72 Oldsmobile, or if we got a 2028 Tesla, or a 2035 BMW electric vehicle, 80 miles per hour is still only 80 miles per hour, you dumbass. What do you need? All of the shit around you like you up in some spaceship. You're not leaving anywhere. You are on Earth, and you will stay on Earth. There is no flying vehicle. There is nothing special. You're not going to get zapped with an email, and the email gets sent straight into your fucking your your temple right here, your dome, while you're in the vehicle, and while you're looking through the fucking windshield, a map of where you're going is supposed to be on the wind. Like, yo, how retarded is a motherfucker, man? Like, I'm not going to allow technology to define human stupidity. You know what I'm saying? By replacing what we already know how to do, what we've been doing for eons, and if you support that shit, I feel sorry for you. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, I don't feel sorry for you. If you support that shit, remove yourself because you're not comfortable with the environment. And that's basically what the bottom line is. You're not comfortable with yourself. You're not comfortable with the environment. You're not comfortable with how things operate. I don't need AI. You know what I'm saying? I like an original oil painting. You know what I'm saying? An oil painting which came out of the soul of the human is fine for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a bunch of electricity, MPC. I like to hear the drums. I like to hear the saxophone because I appreciate other humans. You see, humans who get into all of this technology shit, they don't appreciate other humans. They don't appreciate life. And, is 9 times out of 10 they've been neglected, abused, so on and so forth. There's been terrible experiences that have occurred, and or things just aren't going the way in which they want them to go. You know what I'm saying? And a person is not an asshole, and a person is not traumatized or traumatizing you if they're not, doing what you want in your head. What you want in your head is for you. You develop it, so you do it. Whatever consequences follow. You know what I'm saying? Um, Yeah, don't do the Tesla. Don't do none of these electrical vehicles. Leave all that computer bullshit alone. The old school donks. You install the computer in that, you'd be way more better off by having a digital dash in an old school with an original engine and fuck around with this new booty bullshit. You know. This goes back to the natives' practices being in fact superior to current technology. We don't know the totality of the natives' practices. And there was a form of technology that they use. Is just when you say the word technology, we're talking about the operation of a mechanical science. We're talking about the operation of industry is what a technology is, something that advances or expedites our course of doing something because it is in essence stronger than what the human is. Okay, so a tractor trailer is technology. Basically, what I'm saying, the original cars, the '86 Caprice, and all of that is technology. We have just we try to move the word technology to compensate what is going on with our current status of digitized information. But understand that all digital is gone once you pull the plug. Once you pull the plug, you know, when it comes to how pyramids were built and things of that nature and the way they smelted gold and all of that, we don't know what they were doing. I've never seen the tools. I've never seen, a papyrus that states, this is the technology that was being used in order to put the stones here. We had giants that put the stones in place. Aliens came and hovered the stones in place. We don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now Europeans want to say that these ancient civilizations had, but what Europeans do is they leave your mind stuck. So they'll take you to, the Machu Picchu in Peru and say, we don't know how they were doing this and da da dibby dibby dabby dibby da. And we don't know. Isn't it so great how it was phenomenal? And then they put you in puzzle mind frame and you want to be the great one to figure it out. Well, here's the facts to the matter. The facts to the matter is that those people were doing those things and had those things in position when the Europeans arrived, and they got all the documents that states how these things were built and this and that nature. So the European knows. He knows that you don't know. Okay. So now that he knows that you don't know, we can make it a tourist attraction. We can impose the great mystery. We can impose the riddle and the problem. And people want to figure out the riddle and the problem to be great in the world. So you sit there and be like, oh, did the Anunnaki and oh, the planet X comes around 3,600 years and we all gonna get zapped and and put you in all these fucking weird ass places and you're stuck in a hole of nothingness until you climb out because it is a conspiracy theory that or maybe it's not a conspiracy theory at all. You try to figure out how these things were put together and you'll never be able to figure it out because you don't have the finances to figure it out. The books are at the bottom of the Vatican, and if one could figure it out, they'd be able to do it again, like so, and there's evidence of this. There's a dude in Florida, in the city of Coral, Florida. I forgot the dude's name. Is a white dude, and he said he understood the Egyptian sciences, and he was able to move. He was able to create a whole city out of coral. Let me see if I can find him. And then he moved the whole city overnight to he moved the whole city overnight to another location in Florida. Let me see here if I can find it. Yeah, here it is, Coral Castle. Yeah, so just look up Coral Castle. Yeah, this dude's name Edward Lead Skalnin, I think. Yeah, he built this humongous city with 30-ton stones and all of this other stuff. And then he moved the city overnight to a whole nother location higher up in the state. Let me see here if this is right. So there's the secrets of how all of that stuff was built. Yeah, his name is Edward Lead Skalnin. You know. So here goes the evidence right here. They mastered the sciences. They know the sciences. We don't, because they destroyed a whole generation of our people. You understand? But we had, even totem poles used to be at like 20, 30 feet, supposedly. The red California trees, were supposedly and a lot more locations across America than where they are in just California. So, we don't really know what was going on in the past. They damn sure confused the history at great levels. And I mean, what are we gonna do about it? Sit here and complain? I mean, what can you do but keep on pressing? Right now, we got way bigger situations on our hands. We need to be asking ourselves if we're gonna be having an internalized war here dealing with these immigrants here in a second, because they damn sure poking the bear or poking the beast when it comes to the areas of jealousy, dealing with the Americans over here working hard, and then you're giving our tax dollars to immigrants and the like, and worried about people getting surgeries to change their sex, and all of this shit is definitely being forced down the pipe, and nobody's really, we're all turning a blind eye to it, hoping that it'll work itself out and just disappear over time, and that's definitely not the case. It's only going to get worse and worse, you know what I'm saying? But we want to stay positive, me, I really don't get no fuck, like what am I to what am I to do? What am I to do? But the shit is coming, you know. Um a lot of people want to blind themselves by partying and getting drunk all the time, but the shit is coming, and we don't know what's coming with this whole Kamala and Trump thing, and people are nervous, So hey, you know, it's a very, very interesting situation we're facing, something brand new that we've never faced before, and how we respond to it is also going to be very brand new. We don't know if the American is going to stick with the American, and we don't know if we're gonna point the finger at everybody and say everybody is racist here. Yeah, what do you do? What do you do in these situations? You know, children missing every day. Looking at this news right now, see pull up something. What? What in the hell? Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, this is a lot of madness on the news, and people don't want you to see it as madness because you were supposed to be going along with the madness as they downloaded madness into your psyche, event by event by event over the years, and I'm not going. you know the children of the traitors, want to listen to the children of their rulers, and that's what they've been doing, and I guess that's all they got to identify with, especially since they were raised in the abusive hole. They didn't listen to their parents, or naturally some people just revolted against their parents and just wanted to go with what society is being pushed. There is no so-called society being pushed. There is propaganda that's being pushed, and people are collapsing to the propaganda because they have nothing else. When there's oceans and oceans of literature, so I don't understand it. Maybe literature makes people a little bit feel like they're operating too slow. It does. It will divide you from people over time, but the same complaints that you hear from your friend or your mom or whatever the case, um, they've been spoken in every single generation has been out here. Okay, when it comes to this world, philosophers have been doing the complaining. Here we go. Here goes some questions. Yeah, y'all come with some questions. Uh, do you think it's better to get? Do you think it's better to get involved in current government or show non-consent to all actions taken by them? That is a very good question. Um, the system will always be controlled, and we're dealing with a system of people just doing what they want to do when they want to do it, how they want to do it. Um, we don't know what the true agenda is. We don't know. So if you want to get in government, blind yourself to what you have to do to get inside government. You got to go, pledge to a fraternity, go get hazed. Hopefully you survive the hazing. You have to go through a lot of social modification. You got to go through a lot of rites and rituals, supposedly. And then, hey, there's so much nepotism by now over the span of 200 years. The nepotism politics are even in basketball and football and everything, so everybody's worried about putting a family member in the system to keep their family, super paid. So, and you're coming up in here in new booty, then we're gonna have to, you're gonna have to go harder than the next man. You may have to go through the scandal. You may have to go through the public humiliation and whatnot. So I don't know, bro. Me, I don't consent to any of the actions. I don't know what you niggas is doing. I don't know why you doing it. I really don't find it necessary. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of unnecessary activity that people are carrying on with. And my brain, once you become an intellectual and you're more civil than the average, everything really boils down to unnecessary or unnecessary, what I want and what I don't want, what's good for me and what's not good, and that's really the bottom line it falls down to. And a lot of people want to go past that, be blind, and then run into the unknown, and then they're mad with the results, and what happens. So hey, um no, I have not read the medical works of Paulus. One thing you have to understand about the medieval times, and the reason why I composed this literature and the way I did it is because there's tons and tons and tons and tons of information in that time period, and also the time periods that predate it, about medical information, biology. I mean, alchemy. There's tons of information available. Is it right? Is it wrong? We don't know. Where nobody will know until you test it. So test the information and see what you get. Um. Yeah. Well, here's the thing about civics and what's going on with enforcement. They know that you hate your parents, you hate your household, and you're going to follow whatever is on the millionaire box. That's what I'm going to start calling anything that is of a video or the YouTube. It's called the millionaire box, where everything is perfect and pretty and everybody's balling. So you're automatically going to follow it. You flip through your TikTok, you flip through your Facebook reels or whatever, your Instagram reels, and what do you see up there? Some white dude up here talking about press 5 buttons and be a millionaire like me, and they keep on talking that shit, and the reason why is they got your attention and you're going to fall suit with the blue eyes and the green eyes and whatever they say, because they are the leaders, they are the social leaders, they are the cheerleaders, and the majority of people don't have anything to feel attached to or feel a part of. Yeah, it's good marketing. And marketing and advertising is the study of human operation, on how to make a human go left or right, by a picture or some some other form of inanimate object that's going to attract the human to move one way or the other. Okay. And that's one thing we're not doing. We're not studying the marketing and the advertising. We're not being serious, So, hey, what do you do? You can't do nothing about it. You're going to sit here and cry about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I gave people information to at least give you a little bit a lead on with it. Because when it comes to insignias and advertising, you definitely have to understand how family crest and coat of arms work. If you don't understand family crest, coat of arms, and geometry, then leave advertising alone, because that's what advertising is based off of. And these are sciences that they've been studying for thousands of years. When you get at the top levels, you got to think about who is doing, the the sets for films, who's doing, the um the scouting, the location scouting for films, who's building the sets, who's doing the costumes. Those people are highly educated into the details of what was going on in history. That's why they're able to reproduce it for the films and bring in millions and millions of dollars that a nigga ain't seeing. Nigga ain't seeing a dime, you know, because we're not putting down any due diligence in any areas, and it's fucking us up greatly. You know, your due diligence needs to start right here. So get the kickedoutofheaven.com so you know what the definition of James is, you know, what the definition of Williamson is, you know, and you'll definitely be able to find your trade that you are automatically matrixly programmed to do. You know, just like my name is Keenan Booker, so I write books as a ancient bookmaker. You know, is basically it. That's what I am designed by the Matrix to do. You understand? And your birth date, your saints, and all of that is a part of that as well. And you could skip over all the bullshit when it comes to your industry and what you're supposed to be professed in by understanding those things. You know, otherwise, a lot of people end up lost for a very long time because they never got to understand. They never understood that. They don't know what they're born for. You know, like I told my children, you know, you're born with art and entertainment inside your system. That's just what it is. It's not just me. My parents played instruments. My mom was in ballet and all of that other type of shit. And you know, they did that type of thing. So my dad played piano for the church and all of that. You know, so that's just what's in a nigga. That's what's in me. You know, but do I want to do it based off the course of how the business side of entertainment works? Hell no. I like the business side of books, you know, so that's a consistent thing that we can depend on. When it comes to entertainment, you've been told through a million interviews that entertainment is not reliable, you know, period, you know, and the reason being is because you got these blokes and you got these weirdos and these fucking bums. Let me tell you something. When it comes to hip hop industry, I'm pretty guaranteed when you take the hip hop industry, music industry alone. Well, no, I'm going to specifically reduce it down to just the hip hop genre. When you take the hip hop genre of music, I'm pretty guaranteed 60% of the people that are there don't even need to be there because they have nothing to provide. But you have nothing. You're not talented. You're not practiced in art. You can't produce, but it's a bunch of wannabe niggas and a bunch of yes men and a bunch of hang around niggas, a lot of felons who want to maintain some area of bravadoism so they don't go get a regular job. They want to try to extort motherfuckers in the rap game. You dig what I'm saying? Dog, what is all of this shit? You know what I'm saying? And everybody's claiming to be big macho man. And before you know it, they're getting robbed by the fucking dweeb who fucking graduated from Yale. You're being robbed by dweebs, okay? Because you don't know how to read the fucking contracts and all this other shit. Then you got to hire other motherfuckers. You got all different types of lawyers. You got, man, like I said, 60% of motherfuckers in the entertainment industry don't even need to be there. It's like a revolving door. You know what I'm saying? You got to force yourself into a door that you're going to get kicked out of 9 times out of 10. Because the real truth to it is the dollar bill that you earn from the shit and what you can do with that dollar bill. Because regardless of what industry you work in, you're gonna be relying upon the dollar bill to pay the bills. Okay, and that is it. You see, that's why you need to donate to the God 720. Okay, that's why you need to get the literature for sure. Because nobody else is going to bring it to you like this. Nobody else is going to have your brain in these areas because these are the important areas. And, you know, like the average black male that looks at every other black male as competition, they're going to make sure that you are in an inferior status with your finances so they can automatically treat you like a bitch. And that's what the main goal of a lot of black males are, is to find another nigga. And they always want to do that shit to a nigga. It's like, what type of fucking faggot shit is that? Nigga, you trying to make another nigga your bitch. Like, why don't you make the bitch your bitch? You call her a bitch on all your songs, but you don't make her your bitch. But you make all of these other niggas your bitch. And you got 20 niggas around you when you walk somewhere, when you go somewhere. Oh, man, I don't need all that fucking shit. You niggas is extra fat, and I like my meat lean, motherfucker. I don't need none of your motherfucking bullshitting around me, nigga. Niggas need a big entourage. But then that is a hardcore metaphysic when it comes to music. Music is done in entourage, like, when you go listen to classical, it's an entourage of people producing the music. And when you go see a marching band, and when you go see a group, it's a big entourage of people. So there is that metaphysic there, but there is also the solo. But we don't respect the instrument solo in music anymore. That has definitely been removed. Yeah, pass the collection plate, donate to the God 720. You dig what I'm saying? Because we got to give the truth, and that's what niggas do. Niggas ain't finna give you no game. That's what, and the rap game is filled with niggas. So I know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a couple of niggas that'll put you on, but you gotta sit around, hang around, hang around, hang around, hang around. Hanging around costs money, nigga. A grown ass man be hanging around and shit. What the fuck, nigga? You know what I'm saying? I like the comfort of me home. Do you understand? And I mean, but don't get me wrong, I hang out every now and again, but man, bro, it just feels like a fucking weight. It feels like a burden, you know. Running around goofball shit, niggas is picking up bad habits, picking up addictions, because they fucking around in the wrong environments for too long and not achieving what needs to be achieved. And the thing you're only going to be noticed by masse. You know what I'm saying? And there is a demand. People want to see you. They want to see you perform and all of this other shit. And it does assist to a certain extent. It also depends on how serious the people are that are your so-called fans. And here's the key secret to it. It doesn't matter what you do um, in any industry. The majority of the industries out here that aren't sort of, like products like bleach or, you know, dealing with like the scrub daddy shit and all that type of shit, a ladder, all of that is different industries. And besides those that are specifically for adults because of their job related or cleanliness related or something like that, the majority of products have to be catered towards children. And the reason it being is because children will grow with the product, they will grow attached to the product, and they will stay with that product for the course of their life, and 9 times out of 10 pass it to their own children. As a matter of fact, that's how Coca-Cola blew up. Is their first major marketing campaign was done off of the polar bear. And I mean, not the polar bear, they started with Santa Claus for Christmas. And that is also part of the reason why their label is red, is because their first marketing campaign was done with Christmas, and they merged in with the Christmas in order to get more sales during wintertime, because their sales during wintertime would plummet versus their sales during summertime. So in order to maintain year-round sales, they launched a big marketing campaign with Santa Claus, and this is way back in like the 30s and the 20s and shit. And it blew up. And they attached themselves to the children through the form of Christmas gifts. And then they said for like 5-10 years, I mean, even now, Coca-Cola is still sort of indirectly correlated to Christmas with the not only the color red and then the white part that looks like a ribbon, but also because Santa Claus wears red, and it's a match in. And we put the polar bears there, and they drink some Coca-Cola, and it's all sweet to the children. And the children never seen a polar bear, which the polar bear is the most ferocious bear, and only eat and is the only bear that only eats off of meat. That is a carnivore. Okay, all other bears are omnivores. They'll eat, vegetation as well. So the polar bear is the most ferocious. And you have the children think the polar bear is cute because they saw it at the zoo or some shit, or they saw it in a cartoon or some shit, and they think it's, and then we have the children, and then Coca-Cola is being sold forever. What did McDonald's do? A burger at that time was first, for adults, or for teenagers. Okay, the drive-through, you drive up and come out with the roller skates and whatnot and get your food and all of this other shit in the brown paper bag. What did they do? They went on a campaign towards children. Okay, and their campaign was dealing with Ronald McDonald with the big red shoes and the white face and the afro and all of this other shit. And then they had a whole family with the hamburglar, and then they dealt the Cookie Monster dude with the purple dude, and they had all of that shit. See, and they don't even have those entities around, but I remember that campaign when I was a kid, and that's what they do. You have to market towards children. So even in hip hop, that's why Little Bow Wow blew up. That's why the Romeo blew up. That's why Snoop Dogg blew up, because Snoop Dogg blew up during the whole time period of high school students being falling into sync with the whole gangsterism card that was going on at that time with the Bone Thugs and Harmony, and really what it was niggas didn't know they could grow out their hair. So Bone came out with the long hair. Snoop came out with the long hair. It's like, oh, niggas could get braids, and the broads were jealous of that shit. I remember that shit. Black girls were mad as fuck that niggas had all this long ass hair, and we was getting it braided up, and they was walking around with the one little afro puff in the back of the head. You see what I'm saying? So you have to market towards children. That's even in hip hop, and the majority of people don't know how to do that and can't do that nowadays because the children are fucking retarded. We have the majority of the kids nowadays are heroin babies, crystal meth babies, alcohol babies, fetal alcohol syndrome, and the like. You saw what happened with Krishan's child. There's a fetal alcohol syndrome. They're all in the wheelchair. Okay, they're coming up all in the chemical environment, and these individuals have no judgment, nor do they have a telepathic connectivity in between each other, for a organized or an unorganized judgment with each other on what is good and what isn't. Everybody's in their separate world with the chemicals that they put in their body, and also to what they're attracted to in media. So trying to and then they're so depressed from the environments that they're growing up in, they have no concept of the winner and the loser. They have no concept of being the hero and receiving the reward, and the reward system in their brain is shot. So trying to, and that's why the rap game is plummeting. you know the rap game is plummeting because art has been stripped away from music overall. We all used to appreciate the album cover. We used to appreciate the lyrics inside the album cover. We used to read the book. There was art. But I did read a report recently that CD sales have surpassed digital sales last year. Now that's interesting. Yeah, and you want to know why? And that is the same reason why I wrote this book, why I wrote books, is because people love tangibility. People love something material in their hand. That's why you'll never see a Bitcoin run. That's why all of that Dogecoin and all that other shit keep going up and down and staying at the same price, and that shit will plummet because humans have been conditioned for their money to be in some physical format for thousands of years. Before we was dealing with the paper bills that started getting created during the Confederacy, during the Civil War and whatnot, we were already dealing with coins in the old world. If you dealt with the tribal people, and the tribal people in Central Africa would look at seashells as valuable. The same seashells that people put in their dress, they would look at that as valuable because it came from the coast, so it automatically had a value. And whatever the group together sees something as a value because of its rarity, it can be used as a monetary source. Okay, and that is what's going on. Do you understand? Okay, so There is a tangible thing here. Digital bullshit is trying to remove tangibility by fucking with your brain. Your food will always be tangible. Your vehicle will always be tangible. The clothes you put on to be fly, the glasses, the opticals that you use, all of that will always be in a tangible format. That digital shit is not going to work. It won't work. It hasn't worked. We need to destroy it. That's all there is to it. We're fucking up. We're fucking up the whole thing. The whole planet is all fucked up. And you can't tell me that it's not, you know. And what's scary about this whole system is that there's a lot of people out here who knows that the decisions that we're making collectively and whatever's being propagandized towards us from the social engineers and the CIA is driving humans towards extinction. Okay, and that is one thing that we're not looking at with any form of seriousness. But when you put the social mathematics together, it is a drive towards extinction. And if we don't fix it now, my nigga, it's going to be a very fucked up picture. You dig what I'm saying? So we got any questions before we get up out of here? Because I'm finished get that dome. I appreciate you all coming down here. Like, share, repeat, donate, the Cash App. We need the books. You purchase the books. Like I said, anybody purchase any Kicked Out of Heavens right now, you get a free ebook of your choice. You could choose any of them. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna do the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, but I don't know. Holla at me. It depends on how I feel. We might. I don't know. But get the kickedoutaheaven.com. Go. There's $50 right now for all 3 volumes. You have to have it. This is the winter season. Winter season is actually the season for the industry of books from September all the way to December. And I'll tell you the reason why is because this is the season with the most holidays within those months. And not only that, the weather forces one to be inside the house more. So books go ahead and they get purchased more during that time period. And then not only that, during Christmas, a book is the most neutral gift that you could give somebody during the court as a holiday gift, because they can't deny it. You throw away a book, you just immediately look like a fool, and you're not going to deny somebody's gift. So even if they put it on even if they already put it on what's the name, I mean, if they purchase it and the person who gets the book as a gift puts it on the shelf, so what? Somebody that the book may not have been for them, and somebody else will get their hands to it. I don't put no packages together for anybody. So you'll have to holler at me through the email and we can discuss. But I don't put packages together. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, all my books are in color. Except for Real Nigga Etiquette Voodoo Edition, which I currently don't have any copies of. But my ebook version, I don't have any physical copies of that. But the ebook version of Real Nigga Etiquette Voodoo Edition is in color, of course. But the physical copies of the Kicked Out of Heaven are in color. Do you understand me? And I also have a bunch of ethereal laws. Okay. And if you got any street homies or street cousins or any, nephews or anything of that you want off the streets, I got the Real Nigga Etiquette right here. And just because of the title alone, they're going to feel comfortable with reading. And then once you get them into that spirit of reading, like, yeah, I read that book. Okay, well, here's another one you can read right here. And you have to spark the interest of those around you and your loved ones. You see what I'm saying? And you do that with sound literature. Your intelligence is your responsibilities. It is not public education's responsibility. They erased whole generations of your people, and don't, think that they're going to be teaching your children with with good nature at thought at heart. They're not doing that. That's not what's happening here. Even though you have to give credence to the fact that our system has enforced all children of the world to be educated, because that was not the system on how it operated in yonder year. Okay. So y'all can hit me up at thegod720@gmail.com if you have any questions, if you want to purchase the books, if you anything of that nature. Like I stated, you get the Kicked Out of Heaven right now. You can choose any ebook that you want for free. And that's the Ethereal Law, Black Man's Bible, Real Nigga Etiquette Voodoo Edition, you know, or even 7 the book. Okay. And we gonna get down with the get down. Anybody got any song requests? We gonna put them up. Any last questions before I get up out of here? Make it, let it be known or forever hold your peace, my nigga. Okay, let's do it. So let me put some links up here. Donate. Y'all gotta have a good representative. I'm not gonna sit up here and hoot and holler and scream and jump up and down to try to, you know, attract you as I'm some weird character. You know what I'm saying? I don't do the character shit. You know what I'm saying? So Stay Alive was requested. Y'all stay on that song. We'll push the video. There is a music video to that song. You need to push the video. You need to push the song. Push all my music. TheGod720.com is where you're going to find all the music. You know, you can find me on all streaming platforms. Play me consistently. Like I said, and I'm going to say it again. If you can't donate, play my music all night on repeat. Just turn the volume down so you can sleep. Okay? But, you know, you can definitely let my music be on repeat all night while you're not doing anything. It's not going to hurt. You know, there are more than one way to skin a cat. Okay? So we're going to play Stay Alive. And then I'll pick one. And y'all get at me. I definitely thank y'all for showing up. We're going to be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I don't know what I'm going to hit you with. Just wait for it. But we will be here. You dig what I'm saying? And any questions that y'all think up of over time, you know, that you want to ask, or, you know, if it's a real interesting subject, we might study it right here and do it. Somebody already requested the Stay Alive song. So, we might go through the question if it's intriguing enough for me, or I'll give you what I know off the top of my dome. So write down your questions overnight, you know, and see me here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Put it in your alarm clock system. 2 o'clock here. Y'all be here. I'm gonna be here every day of the week. You understand? And it's about to be a bumpy ride. Trust me. So here we go. Peace.
Stay alive. 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 Rappers like a savage, schizophrenia fun. Have you ever seen a skeleton and breathe with no lungs? All ribs, no tongue, steady rubbing on his gums like they cocaine numb. The ungrateful son that takes shit from none. Red rum, come and get you some. Out the lake I come, the ocean depths. I rose some less, turn ghost to flesh. A skull with no nose that got smoke for breath. Come close to death and appreciate life, cause it might be tonight that you walk to the light and meet the great judge. Cause law don't make love. A bat plus the dove equals OJ's glove. Yo, shit ain't organic, it don't come from the mud. Become gigantic when they think that you're young. Slave ship Titanic, the prodigal one on an impossible run. Unlocking a ton from an Antarctica dungeon. Regardless, the heartless is always running. Fuck that smart shit, I'ma keep it 100. Just in case you was wondering, we come for the hunting. Now ain't that something? When slaves dig their own grave all in a day. Gold teeth for the skull, cause we gonna stay paid. Just stump the game, the top hat gon' play. For the lost souls that need home, come this way. So shall I say, stay alive. Stay alive. Stay alive. gentleman. I'm pimpin' O'Gilligan, the Indian, Caribbean, the lizard, amphibian. You come for the rum, for the sugar and cinnamon, but the soul is the gold, just the secret ingredient. And I bet you can't see me in a thin whirlwind. Make your wife my girlfriend, onyx and pearl skin, a vulture and pelican, alligator shoes on, call me Brazilian. My culture American, my diamond Sicilian. When it's French, it's French, at death's expense. Set your spirit on fire, then your heart's content. Can't start no shit, it won't make no sense. The poltergeist defense, don't leave no prints. Just give me the mint, the abundance is redundant, I must admit. Only fatting the pig, so his throat gets slit. I'm a witch doctor, African and Celtic. The meek will inherit the earth until you perish the dirt. This is the state of the art, my nigga, cherish your work. Never embarrassed because it's the dark I lurk. This is Vlad the Impaler, the Ottoman Turk. Shaka Zulu Part 2, just a rebirth. Some of you need church because you breathe your curse. Be thankful for what you got, it could be a lot worse. We all raising it to hell, who gonna be first? The atmosphere my third. Stay alive. 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 Become Darth Vader just to have the paper. Become Darth Vader just to have the paper. They ask if I'm the Star-Lord and what I'm looking hard for. Rest in peace to Pip T every time I slam these car doors. But I'll answer the question. Smiles decrease from lessons like your hearing from target practice with automatic weapons in the search for perfection. We leave those hurt with discretion. A secret, keep it quiet. Unless you wanna try it, my defiance is known. That is international. My account is my blunt. I sprinkle miracle grow. This the remarkable flow of the 720 against the wind we are standing as I break all commandments and rewrite them for the planet with dollars stacking, watching baddie Italians tanning on my laps is the cannon. This is mathematics and understanding, upper-handed we are. Stare out the jet's window, gotta keep my vision far. Never forget my past with all these battle scars. That's the law of daddy raw, and I can't have no flaw. My diamonds on my bottom jaw, my time looks just like stars. Thanks to my automobile because my status is large. It's not about who's in charge, as long as there is respect. But we all know common courtesy won't pass you a check. It's not that I've seen it all, I'm just not too impressed. Your brain change when you go through things that you don't expect. What you think is a game and funny, I take as a test. The only security is money, so it's best to invest. Every day you gon' be hungry, nigga, don't leave a mess. They talk under their breath, I suggest that you address and leave them blessed. No trace, all grace, nobody, no case. Can't cry over spilled milk because we've all made mistakes. Destiny's never late. They mad, I control existence and I made my own plate. Do what thou wilt, cause 7 figures is the real estate. And if you gotta speak twice, we call that regurgitate. So it's best to be nice while you talking to snakes. I know you feel fake inside, nigga, but that's what it takes. Young blood, these are the breaks for those that's coming of late. You can't use an excuse if you pursue the pearly gates. It's best for you to move like an ace in this rat race as that black cat chase. In this game of chess, the king only moves at one pace. You lose the game if one piece act like it don't know its place. And keep your queen in the exquisite lace with expensive taste. She be aboard the Star-Lord and can't see his face. Become Darth Vader just to have the paper. Become Darth Vader just to have the paper.